So my phone has this tendency to overheat, and then it just seizes up. So I just realized that, and that's the same as what's happening to my brain. I know I'm not making a lot of sense when I'm posting these videos, but I'm doing it because I need to have a record of what I'm going through while I am unable to write it out. And even if I struggle to talk, that is part of the process. So I just want to demonstrate what these symptoms are like on camera, so that when I finally get through it, I can show my doctors what I've been through. Got asked this week to describe to my oncologist this week what I've been through after the surgery. So I had the surgery 7 weeks ago to rebuild my hip, and the surgery was a success, but it took a huge toll on my body and left me so depleted that one of those things again. I ended up so depleted that my MCAS and pseudo-gout symptoms started to take over my body, to the point where I suffered an aneurysm, a brain insult, on my birthday, and I've had to fight my way back from that. That's what I wanted to do the video on. So I won't go into why I had the aneurysm. I just want to document what actually happened. And so immediately after the bang in my head, there was a fire sensation, like my head was on fire, being flooded with fire. And I mean, obviously that wasn't good. Anyway, this phone is overheating again. There's nothing I can do to stop it overheating, so I'm gonna have to shut the feed. Unless I can get the phone to stop overheating. It's still going. It's still going. Oh, okay then. So, my phone is freezing up, and I'm freezing because of the amount of pain I'm going through. There's a lot. Oh, that's what I wanted to do the video about. Oh, baby girl needs her lamp on. I need to put her heating lamp on. Hang on. I'll just go do that for her. I made a little infirmary for baby girl so she can warm herself while she's going through it as well, because we're both going through it. So, where was I? I was going to describe what I went through following the aneurysm. XiaoMei at high alba, other than to self-document the difficulties I'm going through right now, so that I can have some form of evidence to present. But also in case it helps anyone else. So my purpose was documenting this to find ways of articulating how difficult it has been the last 2 weeks, navigating pain and insult on the brain and mental illness and feeling trapped in my head. And it comes with a lot of emotion of frustration, disappointment, betrayal, because no one can hear you and you're trapped in your head and no one can see you, even though you're struggling in your head. It's like you're just a talking head and your mouth is opening and closing, and they see your mouth opening and closing and they don't hear your beg for help. They just see it like road rage in a car across the street. That person raging at me, and then they put their walls up and they dismiss you and they don't help you. That's what it's like, and I can't get help until something breaks. And then when it breaks, it's even worse, right? Because now I can't recognize shit. Anything smaller than the size of my palms, I can't understand what I'm looking at. And I've had to come through that. Imagine looking at jars of herbs. So the jars feel roughly the same. They're about the same size. They're transparent jars of herbs. And I have to make my medicine out of these herbs. And I can't even make myself a cup of tea because I look at the jars and I need my herbs, but I can't recognize what's in the jar. So I use the visual information and I touch the jars and I gently impulse so that I can feel through the membrane of the jar what the vibration is like. Is it big tumbly pieces that are gentle vibration? Or is it sharp vibration from seeds that feel kind of sharp on the size of the drum of the jar? And I'm like, hey, so that's seeds. I can hear it's seeds. And that's because it's like a stick and it kind of topples. So it has a different footprint of vibration. So I can tell the difference when I impulse the jar. That's how I recognize objects, recognize things with my hands. So making myself food, nourishment, is really hard because I go to open the refrigerator and there's mayonnaise and there's peanut butter in jars, and I can't understand, I can't recognize the object. It's as big as my hand's grasp. So I get them both out of the refrigerator, peanut butter and mayonnaise, and then I smack them on the countertop to tell which is a part. And if it smacks like cement, it's peanut butter. And if it smacks like jello, it's mayonnaise. Otherwise, I end up with a mayonnaise and jelly sandwich, or a peanut butter chicken sandwich. That's not nice. It's gross. So I had an aneurysm about 10 days ago, and it's blocked my brain, and I'm working my way through those blockages at the moment. So what happened was, after the bang, I felt the blood, a bruising sensation, infiltrating my brain like acid. And I'm aware that I'm a part of the population that can feel what's going on inside my body at such high resolution that people cannot comprehend what that's like. I can feel what's going on in my body to the size of a fingerprint everywhere, and that can be very overwhelming for when I'm in a lot of pain, because I get all of those signals in parallel, and it just jams me up. And I've been staring a lot into space a lot lately, and when I'm staring off into space, it's because I'm not seeing. There's no point. I can't recognize anything. So I'm inside my head and I'm looking at the bruise in my head. And optically, how it looks is kind of a map of viscosity and density. And I can feel these blockages, which feel like vacuums of energy. They're suffocating, and they're pulling a vacuum, and that puts tension on certain nerves in me. I feel the tension, and that tension sets up a kind of like a synapse, and it pulls my eyeballs. It literally draws my eyeballs to look down and into my where the source is. It connects like a loop of energy. It from the source of pain in my head. It sort of connects around like this, and I can draw the tension in my head. If I had a 3D map of my brain, I could draw it. So if this is the frontal and this is the occipital, it's just like my hand actually. The occipital line of tension connecting these two fingers, which happens to be my eyeballs looking down towards the injury through my ear, which is here. It's exactly like that. It's like this circle of tension, and that's where my eyes are going. They're being forced to look into my ear. It's really weird. So when I'm suffering, I can't look up straight. Light becomes painful, and my eyes will dip. They will just naturally dip to my ear. It's really weird. And I'm able to articulate this, but for people who cannot feel intensely about what's happening in their bodies, they can articulate this, what is actually happening after a stroke. And I'm thinking my voice is important, because if you recognize these symptoms with someone, or if you felt them, then maybe it's a warning sign for yourself, because I had a lot of warning signs before the actual aneurysm happened, and they were all the same. before the aneurysm, there was a pain in my head near the frontal area. It felt behind this temple deep. And so before the aneurysm, pain was causing a circuit to light up across here, and I was looking up this way a lot, as though I was thinking. You know that look when people do when they're thinking? It's sort of up that way, that side of their head, on the right side of their head. But it kind of depends, because if I'm looking this way, I'm not thinking manipulatively. I'm thinking about what made me feel that way. Why does it hurt? That hurts. Because it's this part of brain, centrally, on the right side. That's a lot. And it causes me to do that. It causes me to look up at the pain. Connect the tension of my eyeballs with the source of pain. And so you'll see me flicking my eyes a lot when I'm going through brain pain, because what it's doing is I'm using the tension of nerves and muscles to pop my eye up against thickness that I'm feeling, and the thickness is like a swelling on the brain somewhere, and I'm sort of bouncing against it gently like an inflated cushion, and it's actually removing the swelling from that part of my brain. And I've always known this. I've always felt this all my life. I felt stuff in my brain, and maybe that's something that other people feel too. But because it's so, how can I put it? It's so prevalent in the West to label someone with this as mentally ill, crazy, or autistic, and it's always meant in a negative light. In my culture, in Asian culture, when you see someone doing this, people just, sun got to her, or she's talking with the ancestors, she's talking with this, which is metaphorical for connecting with your memories of that same emotion that caused that same pain. And when I do this, when I'm flicking my eyes one side or another, I am connecting. See, when I look left, I'm connecting this loop here across my brain. It's a lot of effort to look that way. It's so hard to look to my left that I'm forcing myself to look to my left, and it's connecting a loop of energy this way through my brain. And it's exercising my brain between these two boxes. Exercising my brain. It's actually pumping my brain. So when I get brain inflammation, see, this part of my brain, by the way, is my speech center. Speech comes out of here, and I said I was exercising this